everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all of their kaiju friends. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And welcome to the end of 2023. Is this
we
year?
Made it.
Is this year 3 of Talking Toku? I don't know.
I've lost track. This is indeed year 3 of Talking Toku. Right. We started in 2021.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess we did. Huh. I don't know. Everything's
Godzilla
a blur.
Versus Kong, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you remember.
Oh,
That's how you remember. Yep.
I think I think to celebrate Godzilla X Kong, we should end the show after that.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Talking Toku will be no more.
Whenever the last Monsterverse movie comes out,
honestly,
it's over.
What if like something terrible happens and Godzilla X Kong like gets canceled? Like it's it's a Warner Brothers movie. They're canceling movies left and right. What if that gets canceled and Godzilla versus Kong is retroactively the last Monsterverse movie?
Yeah, maybe they panicked when they saw everyone throwing a shit fit about him running.
Yeah, and him being pink.
Oh, we can't release this.
Yeah. So I guess we just have to delete the entire show.
Yeah, we're gonna scrub it from the internet.
Yeah, we're gonna pull a Warner Brothers. Everything's getting this whole show's a tax write-off. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely use the tax write-off.
We're not making any money off of this.
We don't make any money,
so it doesn't matter. Yay! Talking Toku's still
going you for free. And we're
unless you want to pay us, that's an option.
I mean, hey, we made a joke like 1 billion years ago about starting a Patreon and having 2 tiers, one of which being $1 and the other one being like 100.
Was that part of that?
Dumb shit. I don't remember. What?
I'll take your word for that. I don't remember that being part of the bit. I remember the bit being the reward was that you got to see the sketch version of our logo, but then by the time like our logo officially got finished. And so the sketch doesn't even matter at this point.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I remember. But I'll take your word for the 2-tier thing. That sounds like something we'd say.
Yeah, maybe it was just a dumb throwaway joke. I'm barely remembering.
Possibly, but hey, Brian, to celebrate our the end of the year, to ring out 2023, what are we doing? I think we're doing something pretty cool that you are super excited about.
I get 2 movies that I've been begging for in 1 year.
I know.
First of which, like I said, our Halloween episode, which is 8-Legged Freaks, one of my favorite B movies of all time. And now we're covering just one of my favorite movies of all time, period, being Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
God damn right we are. And
I'm going to fucking... I'm just gonna say I have literally nothing bad to say about this movie. It's just gonna be me.
Yeah, you guys thought our -1
movie.
You thought our -1 review was long, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not. Sam can't deal with another 2+ hour episode. She straight up hasn't listened to it yet because it's too intimidating.
Oh my god. I don't blame her, honestly. It is intimidating. I mean, honestly, I went back. I did, for the first time in my life, I went back to listen to an episode of ours, and I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just went back and listened to the funny bit I did. So for anyone who hasn't listened to it yet, we had Siobhan on last week to talk about -1, but she had to leave probably like 2/3 of the way through the recording. But I couldn't. I had to like get around that somehow. I couldn't just like. I couldn't just have her disappear halfway through the recording and being like, "Where'd she go?" No, so I left the bit in with her, saying goodbye and leaving, and I put Requiem from the Godzilla vs. Destroya soundtrack. The scene where Godzilla is dying. I put that very quietly underneath when we're talking about her leaving, and then I cut out like us talking, the recording, and just let the music swell And then when the choir comes in, and then it hard cuts back to us just continuing to talk about -1. No, it was really funny. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I haven't laughed that hard at like something I've done in a long time. It's such a stupid bit, but it's so funny.
You should give me the time code, and I'm gonna go listen to it
right now. You want me to do that right now?
No, not right now. Later.
Okay. Okay.
No. They don't want to hear my reaction to our show,
to our joke. Yeah, that's that's fair.
Last week.
Are you sure? I think that's all. Oh, that's what we should do, Brian. We should do that as an April Fool's Day prank. We should do like a commentary on one of our episodes, like a Riff Tracks Mystery Science Theater kind of thing.
We're gonna go back and do the first the NGE episode, the one that I hate because it was so disjointed and bad.
Yeah. Has that been done before?
I don't know.
Like
but
a
if there's
commentary on a podcast episode, I don't know.
God, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to listen to that.
I don't know if I want to listen to it either.
It's honestly, I'm content with just scrubbing that entirely and just redoing it.
You've been trying to redo it for a long time now, Brian.
I just watched the show, so it's perfect timing.
Oh, did you actually rewatch it?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
It was the first time I ever watched the English dub.
Oh, okay.
And it was, yeah.
Okay.
I like Masato's voice. That fits.
I don't think I've ever even listened to her. I think I only ever watched the sub.
I don't remember. It's a change.
I may have watched.
It makes the show a little bit less serious.
Oh no! When I watched End of Evangelion for the first time, I watched that dubbed. I think.
Yeah, that also makes it less serious in my head.
But the show
Just
itself,
hearing Shinji talking English is just yeah.
All right. Well, we gotta get a move on. Talk about your favorite movie, Brian. So we should get into things.
Talk about my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. But we got some news. Shockingly, there's not a lot of news to end out 2023, and also, it's a real bummer. Like a real fucking bummer.
Yeah.
You guys probably know exactly what we're talking about. I'm just going to kind of get into it. So earlier this week, on December 16th specifically, the Godzilla Kaiju fandom experienced a tremendous loss in the form of legendary suit actor Kenpachiro Satsuma. Most of our listeners probably know who he is. But for those of you who don't, Satsuma portrayed both Hedorah and Gigan in their respective films, as well as Godzilla vs. Megalon for the latter, and more importantly, portrayed Godzilla himself from 1984 to 1995, so the entire Heisei era. This sucks. Like, there's really no way around it. It was the first thing I saw when I woke up that morning, which really set the tone for my day. And yeah, it's just been kind of, it's put a pall over a lot of people, myself included, because so I unfortunately did not get a chance to ever meet Satsuma. I was going to, back in, I think it was either 2015 or 2016, I went down to Cherry Hill, New Jersey to go to Monster Mania. They were going to have Haruo Nakajima, Ken Satsuma, and Tom Kitagawa, as well as Shinji Nishikawa, all there at the convention. But Satsuma, unfortunately, had to cancel at the last second. Like, he had a family emergency, so he couldn't make the show. It was like a day before the show was supposed to start, so I never got to meet him. But from what I've heard from all my friends who in the fandom who have met him, they have had nothing but wonderful things to say about him. And actually, if you go on Kaiju United, they just today, or yesterday rather, posted a big like remembrance write-up with just a bunch of people writing in to talk about, what kind of a person he was. And I actually, real quick, want to read off something that my buddy Tim posted. So Tim Bean, if anyone recognizes the name listening, he works for Japan's Legends, who is a client service. They bring, Japanese film stars like Ken Satsuma over to the States to do conventions for all us lovely fans. So I want to read off this thing he posted. I think it was the day of. Please, everyone, remember that Satsuma-san thought of himself as actually being Godzilla, at least in our eyes. He would not want us to focus on him being gone because Godzilla can never die. He would want us to focus on the thought that Satsuma-san, like Godzilla, will live forever in our thoughts and hearts. With that in mind, I'm going to share one of my favorite stories I ever heard him tell. Right after the Godzilla hotel opened, Satsuma-san decided he was going to go check it out. He wanted to go up to the Godzilla head and see it up close, but a security guard stopped him. Satsuma-san tried to explain to him that he played Godzilla and he wanted to see the head up close. The security guard responded with something like, "Sure you were." Satsuma-san told him that he played Godzilla, and in fact the head on top of the hotel was his Godzilla. Satsuma-san never told us whether he was ever allowed up, but Satsuma-san, like Godzilla, was a force of nature, and I like to think eventually he got to see the head up close. The plight of suit actors, never recognized for the huge part they played in their movies. I don't know. Just when I read that, it made me smile. Like it kind of took some of the hurt away, because like,
I mean, yeah, you posted that in our server and I read it. It made me feel better.
Yeah. God, it's like, I mean, I keep seeing like the people talk about him, like, and just they keep equating him to like a modern day samurai, and like everything I've seen from him, because I was friends with him on Facebook, but he kept like deleting his account and opening up a new one. And like everything I always saw him post would always like very much hammer that like modern day samurai vibe home. That really is what it seemed like to me. And I'm really bummed that I never did get a chance to meet him, because again, reading this write up on Kaiju United it's really, really heartwarming. Like everyone's comments it's insane. Like, we have people like Shanta Magaisai, our friend of the show, Donnie Winter, all of them just absolute outpouring of love for Satsuma-san. And I kind of had the realization, like, because, we have had a tendency in the past to kind of dunk on the Heisei era movies. But yeah, the morning it happened, I kind of like sat and thought as I was processing it, I was like, because like, for a lot of people, these are the movies they grew up watching because they were very, very widely available. Yeah. And so like, and Satsuma-san especially.
I grew up watching them. I probably watched the Heisei movies the most, like out of all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, as much as because
you can just find them anywhere. Like they were the ones that were always at Blockbuster. So
yeah, like as much as I love the Showa and the Millennium Era more, like the Heisei era films, those are the ones I watched the most as a kid, and it's in no small part thanks to the Sci-Fi Channel with all their marathons on the holidays, which we've talked about. But like, I can't tell you how many times I watched Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla on TV on repeat. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 was the first Godzilla movie I ever owned. So like, when I was processing the news, I was like, I think I kind of took that for granted a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I never really sat down to think like, oh, he kind of is like my Godzilla. Yeah. Like as much as I love Nakajima, as much as I love Tom Kitagawa, Satsuma, he was the one I grew up watching the most of. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I feel like my opinions on the Heisei movies have distilled a little bit, where they're not my favorite, but at the end of the day, like they are impactful. Like I find them important, and they're important to a lot of people. And even though they're not as good as your Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and your Godzilla 2000 or Invasion of Astro Monster, like even though they're not that amazing, like they're still important and people love them because they just they just hold a special place in people's hearts. And like for me, like I definitely get what you say. Like I took it for granted. Like if I was to like go back and do all the math, I've probably watched the Heisei Godzilla more in just pure hours than any other Godzilla. Like just from just sitting down and mindlessly watching them as a kid all the way through a teenager. And my taste changed, and I have more favorite movies, but like I don't think I'd be as big of a fan without them.
I don't think so. Yeah. And I think a big part of that as to why they're so beloved by fans is, there's always the argument of like, oh, I just want big monsters. I don't really care about the humans. And like the Heisei era it's big, it's flashy. And I think a big part of that is Satsuma's performance. Because I think like, by the end of the Showa era, like obviously Godzilla was more of like the superhero, kind of like overly cartoony. But Satsuma brought it back to its roots, which is what Toho, wanted to do with Return of Godzilla. But he kept even as the films got more lighthearted as they went on through Godzilla versus Destroya, he still kept the performance, consistent. And I think he really set the precedent as to what Godzilla as a character is, even to this day.
They definitely I feel like the Heisei movies, more than anything else up to that point, solidified the vibe of Godzilla.
Yo, absolutely. Like, I think everyone nowadays is always going on about how, like, Godzilla is a force of nature. And I think that was best personified by Satsuma's performance. He was the one who really took it back to that force of nature. Because, again, it was like that in the original film, but it quickly veered away from that. He brought it back, and it's been consistent since 1984 all the way to today.
Yeah,
for that force of nature personification of Godzilla, and I really do think we have Ken Satsuma to thank for that. So yeah, it's rough.
Salute to you, sir.
It sucks.
It's not gonna be the same without him. But I wanted to say, while you were reading off, the quotes from the community, like, we rag on Godzilla fans a lot, but it's shit like this that makes me love the community again, where people, like, something bad happens and people are just out there talking about how much they love, this person or this movie or whatever. Like, people like come together when bad shit happens, and I appreciate that. Like, maybe it's not all of the community, but I don't know, it feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, something like this, it's hard to not like all come together. It's like we all love definitely. Godzilla, and when we have a loss as significant as this, that's when we all kind of have to come together and mourn together. I want to real quick. I just want to bring up a couple other quotes that I've
also. God bless Kaiju United for doing that. Like that,
right?
That's such a cool thing. That's I love that. We should really get Jacob and the crew back on.
No, absolutely. Someday. So I wanted to read this blurb from Shinji Nishikawa, who, for those of you who don't know, he did a lot of the concept art for the Heisei era and some from the Millennium era as well. So this is from his Facebook. Sad news today. Sad news from Mr. Satsuma. Of course, this is, from Google Translate, so it might not be the best translation. Of course, the site of Toho during Kawakida's time, I have been together many times in American events in the past 10 years and touched its luxurious and warm personality. I believe that many fans, both domestic and international, have shown loyalty and their presence will be heard with Godzilla. But I'm lonely. May your soul rest in peace. That one really hit me. That one hit me really hard when I first read it. Like the fact that he said, I'm lonely. And it looks like Shinichi Wakasa, who designed a lot of the suits for the Heisei Millennium era, also says something very similar.
Yeah.
God, dude, this sucks. I wish we had more news to talk about. other than this.
Well, we have Sky Captain to balance it out.
We do. That's true.
But it does suck. And it sucks because, like, December, I feel like always is kind of a slow month for news.
I know.
But also, like, it's doubly so because whenever a Godzilla movie comes out, there's usually a huge vacuum of news.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of got the double whammy here.
Yeah. And I just want to also real quick just kind of cover some of the other things he's done other than Godzilla and Gigan and Hedorah, because he's been in a couple other stuff as well. You know, he's been some side characters in Return of Ultraman. He was and Ultraman Ace, sorry. He was in a lead role in Thunder Mask. He was in Prophecies of Nostradamus, and probably most infamously, I don't even know if you knew this, Brian. He was in the film Pulgasari, which was the North Korean kaiju film that that Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il, I guess, would be the right. That's the dad.
That was the dad. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Kim Jong-il wanted to make a kaiju film, so he kind of kidnapped a director to make a kaiju film for North Korea, and they brought Ken Satsuma to play the titular monster, Pulgasari. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's I did not know that, actually.
Now you learn something new every day, Brian.
Weren't they? I think for some reason I thought that they were showing that around here at one point.
I think they were. I seem to recall Jordan from Oxygen Destroyer mentioning something about it.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember there was a showing in Portland.
Yeah.
That's right. And you told me about it like literally like a week after it happened.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think we had the discussion on this show too.
Yeah. God damn it. Should have told me earlier, Dave.
Wait. Hold on. I'm on the Wikizilla page for Pulgasari right now, and in the trivia, it says Pulgasari is one of 7 giant monster movies which can be viewed in its entirety within the 2022 video game Kaiju Wars, which I'm aware of. I'm aware of that game. I've had it on my Steam wish list for a couple months now. It's like an RTS game where you just defend against kaiju attacks. And apparently,
what is this called?
Kaiju Wars.
I gotta hold on. I gotta look this up.
Along with Ape, Attack of the Monsters, which is Gamera versus Giron, Destroy All Planets, which is Gamera versus Virus, Gamera the Invincible, Tarantula, and Yongari, Monster from the Deep. Huh.
Yo, this kind of looks sick.
Yeah, it does, right? I think I saw the trailer for it like way back, like when it first came out. I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of neat. But I'm also like not big on RTS.
I'm huge on RTS.
I know you are. So it might be something
if it was multiplayer, I'd tell you to wait, shared split screen PvP. Wow, that's new.
What?
I mean, that's not common. It has split screen on PC, but not co-op, like online co-op.
Oh, that's weird.
You don't see that every day.
No,
usually
you don't.
It's the other way around.
That's very strange.
Wow. I'm gonna add that to my wish list. Damn. Cool.
All right. But yeah, obviously, rest in peace, Ken Satsuma.
Rest in peace.
It is gonna be. It's the world of kaiju and tokusatsu is 100% darker without him in it.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to be interested in, I will say, because when Haruo Nakajima passed, however long ago, he was actually included in the in memoriam section for the Oscars. I'm curious as to whether Satsuma will be included for the Oscars coming up this year, especially considering Godzilla -1 is in the running for best visual effects. It hasn't gotten nominated. It's just like it's on the short list for the nominations.
Also, Godzilla -1, Godzilla takes a lot of visual cues from the Heisei Godzilla too. So
it absolutely does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, especially the head.
Yeah. No, that's the biggest.
Definitely the head.
Also, speaking of Godzilla -1, it's still going strong, man. Like,
dude, they were not lying when they said they were keeping it in theaters until it stops making money.
right? I'm actually curious. I'm gonna look up the box office right now.
They still have full showings of it here.
I know, it's
In
insane.
Bellingham. We are not even that big of a city.
Holy shit!
What's it
Wait,
at?
hold on. I don't know how to. I don't know how to take this information.
What?
Because I don't know if domestic. I'm on Box Office Mojo. Would domestic be here or in Japan? Because it's a foreign film.
Domestic would be Japan.
Would it be?
Domestic is just home.
Okay. Because the release date has the U.S. release date, not the Japanese release date, and it says in release 17 days, 2 weeks. So maybe that's weird. I don't know why they have it like that. But sure.
I mean, it might just be an error.
Maybe. But it says domestic, worldwide, I'll say worldwide. Worldwide, it's made $65 million.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty sick. For a fucking Godzilla movie, that's great.
For a Godzilla movie that is not dubbed.
And has
you have to read it.
And it has very little marketing up until it came out. Like, it wasn't marketed at all. It's been strictly word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's got to have set some kind of record with that.
I think so. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's
I
crazy.
mean, yeah.
All right, well,
yeah. All right. Well, we're not talking about -1 today. we're gonna have a whole nother episode on -1 if we keep going on it. Fuck.
Let me tell you. Do you have quite a chunky episode to listen to if you want to listen to us talk about -1?
Yeah.
Just go listen to the last episode.
I do think we probably could record a whole nother episode on -1 if we really wanted to.
We finished recording, and I went upstairs and I said to Sam, I could have easily talked for another hour.
Well, how many times have you seen it by now?
3.
Okay, I saw it 4 times.
I think 3 is it for me.
4 is it for me. I told myself 4 is it, because like at this point. Go ahead.
I was saying like 3. I could probably see it a 4th time, but I just want to sit with it, wait for it to come out on physical, and then I'll watch it all over again when it comes out.
Oh, here's my way of thinking. I could just keep watching it endlessly. I don't have to stop at 4. I'm just choosing to. I just think at this point, everyone who I would like to show the movie to has seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't like going to the movies by myself.
Dude, I was gonna show my mom the movie, but she saw it before she even got here.
Which is insane. The fact that she went out of her way to see the movie without you.
Without me.
Unbelievable.
She's never watched a Godzilla movie without me.
I know.
Never.
That's a first.
It is a first.
Like
crazy.
The way I thought it was like the only way I'd see it in theaters again is if my mom and my sister wanted to go see it, and I feel like at this point they would have voiced interest in it. So I don't think I'm probably not going to see it in theaters again. So I will wait till it's inevitable physical release, and then I'll have it on in the background every day.
I'm gonna buy every single edition of it.
Every single copy. You will be you'll be like Alex Rushdie, who.
And I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray. I'm gonna buy the fucking like collectors, whatever. I'm gonna buy everything. I'm buying all of it.
Absolutely. All right, we're half an hour into the show, Brown. We got to talk about Sky Captain.
Okay, let's talk about Sky Captain.
Talk about Sky Captain, Brian.
It is amazing. Well, I've seen it a lot. A little bit of background for anybody who doesn't know. Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow is I guess the term is diesel punk.
Yeah.
A diesel punk movie that was directed by... I'm a bad fan.
Kerry Conran.
Yes. Directed by Kerry Conran in his directorial debut, no less. And it stars Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow and I guess kind of Angelina Jolie.
Kind of.
She's on the cover. She's
Oh
top
yeah,
billing.
she's one of the 3 names on the poster.
She sure is.
I guess she does have top billing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it follows our crew trying to find the weird science, like this Illuminati society thing that's sending robots around the world to take a bunch of stuff and kill some people for reasons that you find out at the end of the movie. And we're going to talk about spoilers, but I just want to say this, like, and more than any other movie, I want you to go watch this if you haven't seen it. It is an experience to see it for the first time. It is such a weird movie, and I adore it. And I know for a fact that a lot of people have not seen it.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
So if you haven't seen it, stop listening right now, go watch it and come back. Because we are going to go over spoilers, because I love to talk about this shit. If you have seen it, you're off the hook. But that's my preamble.
We'll wait. Go watch it. We'll wait.
Yeah. Dave liked it. He told me, he's coming in with an outside perspective, not someone who grew up with it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it back in 2004. I remember going to see it in theaters, and I've watched it numerous times at your house, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think I've seen it at least 3 times at your house.
Yeah, you definitely don't have the same attachment to it that I do.
No, I absolutely don't. I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but it's you definitely have, you are definitely the Sky Captain fan between the two of us.
I am the Sky Captain fan.
Yeah, I could just end the statement there. You are the Sky Captain fan.
I'm honestly willing to bet that I am probably the only person on Earth who still talks about it.
Do you think there's even a subreddit for it?
Let me look up. Let me look.
Okay.
Let's see.
I was also going to look it up, and I'll let you do it.
Just take a quick look. r/Sky Captain. Like, it's got to be. No, there isn't one.
There is not. Wow.
There is not a Sky Captain. So unless it's called something else, but that would be a little obscure. Okay. Well, where do you want to start off with this review? Do you want to talk about your feelings? Because I can go on forever, but I don't know. We can also go over a more detailed plot. I know it. So,
I can just give a quick kind of overview of it. So again, I did like it. I like it a lot. It's here's the thing. I don't think this movie could be made today.
Oh no,
not even 100%. It is too like
experimental.
Thing. I was gonna say gimmicky, but that felt kind of mean spirited.
It's definitely gimmicky, but all the gimmicks it goes for pays off.
No, absolutely, yeah. Like, people would sit down to look at this and be like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And I'm not even saying like from plot or anything, just visually, they'd be like, "What am I watching? This sucks," and leave, because it's very like noir, kind of 30s and 40s inspired.
I think honestly, the only thing that I can think of that I can directly compare it to is like, I don't know. Yeah, I have nothing to directly compare it to. I've tried, but there's really not. In terms of visuals.
Well, Wikipedia tells me it is one of the first major films to be shot entirely on a digital backlot, blending actors with CG surroundings, with Sin City being another one, which, yeah, I can kind of see that. It's not this, it's a very different vibe, but like, they definitely kind of share DNA in that sense.
They've got the kind of monochrome look.
Yeah, for sure. But
yeah.
No. Like but no, thing is, Sin City I could see being made today. Sky Captain, not so much. It's a little too out there for general audiences, I feel, which is a shame, of course, because this is a really, really unique film, and we don't really see films this unique nowadays, which is upsetting. But yeah, that was kind of the end of my thought. I lost track.
Yeah. Also, budget was 70 mil.
Wow, that's what is that a lot for 2004 though?
I mean, let me get my handy inflation calculator. All right, if in 2004 I purchased an item for what was it, 70
million? If I purchased an item for $70 million.
If I purchased something for $70 million, it's 113. Oh wait, no, hold on. That's not right.
What did you purchase for $70 million, Brian?
Okay, it's 113 million in today's money.
Okay, I guess that's, well, I mean, if we're comparing,
there's no way this movie would be greenlit for over 100 mil today.
No.
There's no fucking way. There's no way. Like, I'm gonna get I just want to talk about the plot real quick.
Do it.
Because like I feel like it's not gonna make sense us talk about how weird this movie is without talking about it. Okay, so, and you can jump in with whenever you want. So the general plot is we have our two main characters, Jude Law, who's the sky captain. He's got his plane. Joe. You got Gwyneth Paltrow, who plays Polly, who's like a reporter, and she fucking will literally throw her life away for her camera.
She has no fear, man. It's kind of insane.
She's got, like, I honestly, back in the day, I used to watch this and go like, God, she's an idiot. But you know what? And as I got older, I just see it as pure, cold, hard dedication to journalism. Anyway, so we follow them, and literally, like, the first scene is giant robots attack New York.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Polly trying to talk to some scientist who gave her a tip saying, like, hey, there's someone killing off a bunch of scientists. We should probably look into that. And, well, you got Polly. She leaves. She is in the thick of it with the big robots. Big robots destroy some shit. Sky Captain comes in, does his thing, and then the robots get like a mysterious, very cool, like visually the radio signal that calls them home. I love that. It's very over stylized. I love it.
Well, the whole movie is supposed to be over stylized. That's the kind of the whole point.
I just love the way that the radio signals, like, just in the whole movie, whenever there's a radio signal, it's just like a white line and you see it. It's very visually pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And they fly off to God knows where. Sky Captain goes back to his base. And basically the rest of the movie is them they defend New York again from very impractical aircraft. I don't care. I love them.
No, that was one of my notes. Like, they are stupid, the flying things, but like, they look so cool, dude. They're such a great design.
All of the robots, just everything. It's just like all of the designs of everything in this movie is just so solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think there's anything in the entire movie that I looked at and I was just like, that looks stupid. Maybe some of the dinosaurs at the end of the movie. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, they're called ornithopters, which is an actual word and not something from Dune, because I had only ever seen that word in Dune. Ornithopter is an actual word. Now I've learned something today.
What is it?
It is just an aircraft that flies by flapping its wings.
Do they actually exist? Is that real?
Yeah. I'm seeing a whole Wikipedia article for it.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's new. Someone should try to make one of those things.
Okay.
Honest, I'd fucking fly it.
We can make one, Brian.
Oh yeah.
That's what we'll use our Patreon for, to raise money to build an actual ornithopter.
And we will build an ornithopter from Sky Captain the World tomorrow. Specifically only from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, they fight off more robots in New York. There's this weird like robot assassin lady who's doing the people killing, and like she's like after these weird vials or whatever. They don't really know what they're about yet. And then both Joe and Polly, they like fly to like fucking Nepal or wherever they ended up going, and to look for Totenkopf, who's like the bad guy, the big bad guy. And eventually they end up on this fucking flying aircraft carrier with Angelina Jolie.
It's just the fucking helicarrier from S.H.I.E.L.D. That's literally what it is.
It's literally that, but like
British.
I think they're British. They are British. Yeah, they're drinking a lot of tea up there.
Well, they have an enormous Union Jack on the side of the fucking ship. It's kind of insane.
They do. I kind of love them though. It's so like British.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
Because this movie, it's like, I mean, according to Wikipedia, it's like pre-World War II diesel punk.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, British would definitely be extra British back then. And so yeah, I mean, I don't want to explain the whole movie because there's a lot going on. It's a lot of stuff, but. They fly. They have a submarine. The planes all turn into submarines. They go into the water. They fight some stuff. They end up on an island with a bunch of weird dinosaurs and dragons and shit. And then they find a giant fucking rocket ship with a bunch of miniaturized animals that's gonna go up into space. And when it leaves the atmosphere, it's gonna ignite the whole planet. And they gotta stop it. And boy, do they stop it.
I still don't really understand how that works. Like, how does the entire atmosphere ignite when the rocket leaves? Know. They don't really go into that, but I did. I did. So I'll get into this a little more in our what new cool kaiju thing you've been checking out. I did finally reread Jurassic Park recently, and you might be thinking, Brian, where the fuck are you going with this?
I have an idea. I feel like I have an idea.
Do you? Okay. Well, I'm curious as to what your tell me where do you think I'm going with it?
Is it related with the island?
No, it's not.
Okay, never mind. I got nothing. I'm sorry.
So when Polly and Joe first get into the facility with all the animals and stuff, they see the elephant. Oh no, this is back when they're looking for one of the scientists. I'm pretty sure.
When they're in New York, Polly's doing her like investigative journalism, and she drags Joe to this guy's fucking hideout where they find him dead, and the robot lady who looks cool but is not very interesting.
No, so they find like a tiny miniature elephant. And
that room is filled with miniature animals, Dave. Yeah. I don't know if you realized.
Oh, no, I did. But the elephant was the one they linger on. And having just read Jurassic Park, they mentioned that in the novel of Jurassic Park, like one of the first things that John Hammond did in the novel's universe, that they miniaturized an elephant and used that to like get investors on board to create Jurassic Park. So I was like, is this a really, really deep cut reference? Probably not, but I'm still going to talk about it.
It might be. There's a lot of references in this movie. I was going to save that for later, but like, there's a lot.
There is
a lot of references.
There's a lot. I know you mentioned.
There is a direct Godzilla reference.
There is a direct Godzilla reference. I think I have a note on that too. I just have Godzilla in all caps and then a bunch of like exclamation points, question marks, and ones. That was the only note I have on that.
So apparently in the universe of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, Godzilla is a creation sent by Totenkopf. So, that's cool.
That is cool. It is.
That is pretty cool. I love it.
I'd like to see a Godzilla movie with that.
Yeah, I mean, just the idea of some fucking evil like scientist like on his own island sending out like legions of like mechanical monsters. That's fucking cool. Like that's why I just love this movie. It's just like so. insane. It's literally like an old like comic strip from like the 50s.
Yeah,
like I said this to you like a whole bunch of times, but it's just the way that the movie is presented, just the tone, just like everything it does. It just screams like old like 50s comics.
Yeah, it
like
really
fantastic.
It wears those influences on its sleeve. Like it is, and I realized this when I was watching it. I'm like, it goes through every what feels like every single trope from like old adventure serials that you could possibly go through. It goes through every single one. Like it's almost like they had a checklist when they were writing the script. Like, oh, we still got to do this thing. Okay, good, we got that. Next, what's next? They really did their homework on the entire genre, and the
thing that I love about it is like I like completely agree with you on that, but I feel like a lot of movies nowadays when they're trying to do a genre movie, it feels like the checklist is restricting.
Mm-hmm.
But with Sky Captain, I just feel like it loves the material it's pulling from.
Yeah,
like it's in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can see it, like you feel it when you watch the movie. Like, you know, we talked about this a bit last night, like, you know, from a fit like a review perspective, like if we're talking about this straight, like there's a lot of things in this movie that don't work, but I don't care because it loves everything that it's covering. Like the genre, it loves it. It loves all the materials pulling from, you know, even though the characters are not always incredible. Like, you know, we talked like Angelina Jolie is just not there very much.
She's just there.
She's just there. The robot lady, as cool as she is, she's just kind of there.
Which I mentioned to you, every single time I've watched this movie, I always expect Angelina Jolie to be revealed as the robot lady,
and it would have worked.
It would have.
It would have worked. It would have been great. Honestly, it works so good that in my head, it's probably something that was in the movie and they cut out.
It may be. Who knows?
Because, like, I just don't understand how they had... Because, like, Angelina Jolie was still huge in 2004.
This was right off of Tomb Raider, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which is where she got her big break on.
Yeah. So, I think maybe it's possible that they had a bigger role for her, but they cut it out because of bloat or something. I don't know. Or maybe there was just too much going on. Because there were a lot going on.
I saw this bit of trivia. Let me see if I can find it again. And it was specifically about Angelina Jolie in this movie. Let me see if I can find it.
Also, I don't know if you saw, but and I know we don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, but it's got a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes,
wow,
which is way higher than
that is way higher than I thought. Yeah. Yeah, so despite her small role, she reportedly had conducted hours of interviews with fighter pilots to absorb their jargon and get a feel for the role. So, like, she went hard on preparing for the role, and then she was there for, like, 15 minutes, maybe?
Yeah. What did you think of all, like, the aerial combat scenes and all that?
Oh, I mean, it was great. Like everything, all the action set pieces were, like, really, really well directed.
Like that, just like, I think I said this to you yesterday when we were messaging about it, or was that this morning? I don't remember. Anyways, like that first scene where the robots first land in New York, like that action set piece when Sky Captain's flying through the streets shooting them, like that is legit. Like that is so cool that it just like sticks with me forever. Like I know that scene like the back of my hand. Like it's so good. Like just everything about it. It's amazing. What else was I gonna ask you? What did you think of the ray gun?
It was cool. What do you mean? What did I think of the ray gun? It was fucking sick.
I love asking people about the ray gun because it looks so goofy. It's like exactly what you would have in like.
Yeah, it is the ray gun you would expect to see in this time period.
Wow, I didn't know this, but Gwyneth Paltrow was pregnant during the filming of this movie.
What?
Apparently.
Damn.
Maybe that's why she was fucking throwing her life away for that fucking camera.
Maybe.
Oh, that's cool. You're gonna like this, but Dr. Totenkopf, the name of the mysterious scientist is the German word for death's head / skull.
Yeah, which Wolfenstein fucking stole that.
Wolfenstein stole that shit. That's cool as hell.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard the name Totenkopf. I'm like, wow, I can't believe Wolfenstein stole this 5 years later.
Is that just a thing by the Machine games, or is that?
Death Set, I believe, first showed up in the 2009 Wolfenstein from Raven Software.
Okay.
But I had never played that game because I heard it was only okay because it was just basically BioShock. Because that was right after BioShock came out, and so like every FPS game had to try and be BioShock. So I never played Wolfenstein 09.
Brian, King Kong references, we can go over that.
I missed most of those, I think.
I was going to send you the pictures of those.
Please do, because I know you mentioned that there's a bunch of them in the movie, but I don't think I caught any of them.
So, I'm assuming you people have seen the movie if you're listening this long. But
we did say we'd wait for you.
We did say we'd wait for you, so it's your fault if you didn't do that. But so during I think the first scene, let me read this here. As Sky Captain and Polly fly, oh wait, no, this is the second one. Well, the second one is probably the coolest one. The first one is really hard to see. Basically, the first one, it's like the scene when they're flying through the city chasing the Flappy Bird machines, and in the background, very faintly, you can see King Kong's silhouette on the Empire State Building.
Okay.
And I literally could never see it, and so I just looked it up because I'm a coward. And let's see. Well, here's one.
Okay.
Let me send this in the trench. So this is the second one. Now, the second one I love because I did notice it without even looking up trivia. And in the part of the movie where they're the underwater giant robot fight.
Okay. Yep.
Where you got all the amphibious planes, they're fighting the big crab robots, which I love those designs. Those things are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can very clearly see a sunken ship with Venture on it. And if you look really closely, there is literally like a cage and a spot for Kong.
Oh, is there? I can't really tell.
It's a really shitty picture, and honestly, like I'm telling you, people do not care about this movie. So, like, nobody has like an actual good like high definition picture of it, but it's real cool. And the second one, it's like right around this scene. It's right around this scene, and it's like a little bit past this shot, and you can see the Empire State Building very faintly on like the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And on the top of it, you can see King Kong standing there.
Guess I gotta watch the movie again.
It's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie, it's got a lot of references, and I think it's cool. It's pretty sick. But
now, Brian, I have a question for you.
What's your question?
What do you think of the little bit they do where Polly only has like 2 pictures she can take and she keeps fucking it up?
I think it is fucking hilarious.
I think it is too. I honestly think my favorite scene in the whole entire movie is the final scene where she's about to take a picture of all the animals coming down. She turns the camera, takes a picture of Joe, and then the last line of dialogue in the entire movie before the credits roll is him telling her that she left the lens cap on.
You know what I love about that is that it like leaves the end of the movie like pretty mysterious, because literally nobody knows about it except them.
Yeah.
Them and Dex. The only people who know that ever happened, which is just wild. Yeah, I love that. The whole like time they're on the island and Polly's just trying to figure out what to take a picture of.
Yeah, she's like about to take a picture of all the animals being loaded into the rocket, changes her mind, and he's like, do you really think you're gonna see something bigger than this? And he's like, I might. And then when they're running,
the actual line was, "You think you're gonna see something more?" I think it was like, I forgot the exact line, but you ever think you're gonna see something more crazy than every single animal miniaturized being brought into a giant rocket ship? Is so good.
And then
so matter of fact.
And then when they're running in the forest, which I don't know if that's later. I don't think it's later. I think it's before. It's like they're trying to get there. Like she accidentally takes a picture of the ground, and she's like,
love her like
she's like crying about it, and he's like really concerned. And then as soon as he hears like what happened, he just starts laughing at her.
It's so good. He's such a dick. I love Joe and Polly as like a duo. They're so like.
I said this to you. This is like one of the very few roles I've seen Gwyneth Paltrow in that I've actually enjoyed her performance. And that's not to say I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm just extremely neutral on her as an actress. I've never seen her do a performance that I've been like, oh, that was really good. She was really good in that movie. She's always just kind of there for me. But she's really good in this
performances.
movie.
Her performances are always like kind of like acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in this, I think that like they, like, I don't know what it is. Her character is just like fucking hilarious to me. Like, she's just a mess. And like her and Joe together, like they're so like they obviously care about each other, but they're so fucking antagonistic to each other.
Yeah.
That it's just so funny. It just cracks me up every time. Like when she's like, how long were you seeing Angelina Jolie's character? And then he like fessed up to his like 6 months or something, and then she's like, I sabotaged your plane.
That's good.
It's just there's no reason to say that, and you're literally fighting for your life on an island full of dinosaurs, or you just want to be dicks to each other. It's just so funny. It's so funny. They're so good as a duo. I love it.
They have a lot of great chemistry. I'm really sad that we didn't get a sequel to this movie, because it sounded like we were supposed to.
I just don't know what they do with the sequel.
Well, you can do like kind of a standalone sequel, just have him go on like another adventure and not really care about any of the stuff that happened in this movie. You could potentially make it a whole franchise, just have him doing stuff. That's how old adventure serials worked.
That's true. And I mean, like the whole like thing with Joe is that like he runs like a paramilitary.
Exactly.
So like you could just have him and his dudes go out and like, I don't know, fight some monsters or whatever. Oh my god, you can make a Sky Captain Godzilla crossover.
Oh my god, you could, because Godzilla's canon in this movie.
Yeah, he is canon in this movie.
As is King Kong, so you could do King Kong versus Godzilla versus Sky Captain.
That's true.
Incredible.
Versus Justice League.
Versus Justice League.
That would be funny. No, I mean, I would kill for more of this universe, because like, as much as I love the universe, like, I'm sorry, as much as I love the movie, like, for me, the universe like sells it. Like, just like the whole world in this, like, the world building is so cool. Like, it's just like pre-World War II. But it's like weirdly technologically advanced. Also, it looks very like, still has that old like 40s 50s look.
Yeah,
it's so cool. And like, I honestly, like the plane that Joe flies, like it's honestly, it's like its own character. I always see it as its own character for me, because it's just so like iconic. But that might just be me because I grew up with this fucking movie. But
No, I mean, it definitely is. I feel like it wouldn't be Sky Captain, because like you need, with a name like that, you need a damn good plan to go with it.
Yeah. I did just realize, and I honestly, first time I ever realized it was he left the plane on that fucking island.
He did. Oh my god. All right, well now we need a sequel, because he's got to be reunited with his plane.
He does.
Oh, hold on. I'm just looking at some of my other notes here. There's no fucking way anyone could have put this together. So in the scene where the robots kind of assault his base, basically, and they kidnap Dex, right?
Yeah.
No way in hell anyone, regardless of how smart, there's no way in hell anyone, but especially Polly, could have seen a discarded gum wrapper, especially among all that other debris scattered on the floor, and think, maybe he stuck an important document onto the ceiling with some gum. No, shut the fuck up. That's not gonna happen. No one could put that together. Neil deGrasse Tyson couldn't put it together.
I agree with you there. That shit, it's just so cheeseball. I can't be mad at it though.
And I know it's like it's kind of cheesy on purpose, but like that just stuck out to me. It's funny. Like I can suspend the disbelief. It's just that just stuck out to me.
I think it was one of those things where they're just like, we need to remove Dex, but we need to tell them where to go.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know. I kind of get it. What did you think of Dex as a character?
He's fun. I mean,
he is fun.
Giovanni Ribisi is like, anytime he's in a movie, he's always fun. Like, he's the guy who came up with unobtainium in Avatar.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He's Mr. Unobtainium himself.
Oh my God. Wow, you just reminded me of that whole movie. My entire memory of that movie just came flooding back. I haven't thought about Avatar since the sequel came out.
Well,
and I still haven't thought about it.
Avatar 3 coming out in 2025, Brian.
I can't work myself up enough to care.
No, but they're gonna have volcano Navi, so it's gonna be cool.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, see, you're down. Let's fucking go. Avatar 3, sweet.
Well, it's hard to not like volcanoes.
Exactly.
Okay, what... all right, so this movie did give me a little bit of childhood trauma.
Okay.
And I deliberately never told you about this, knowing that we'd eventually cover this.
Okay.
So
very curious as to where this is going.
There's two things. One of them you might understand, and the other one you're gonna laugh at me about.
Okay.
The first one being when those two scientists walk on the pad and they get turned into skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
That shit freaked me the fuck out when I was a kid.
Understandable, yeah.
The second, okay, well, that was the one that I thought you might give me shit over, because the skeletons look,
yeah, they're cartoony, but like if you're a kid and see that,
very cartoony. Yeah, and the second part being when they find Totenkopf's body and he's just like a green rotted man.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That shit disgusting.
That's fucking sick. Yeah.
That image always comes to my head whenever I think of like dead guy. That's literally it. Like that's the image that comes to my head. That's a cool twist though. I love the twist at the end where it's like Totenkopf was dead the whole time.
It's really kind of subversive almost, because like there's always in these adventure serials there's always a villain, but like in this one there isn't. The villain has been dead for like what 18 years or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And like it's cool because like it kind of, because like essentially what is going on is that all of these machines are just carrying out their subroutines.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just doing what they were programmed to do, but the guy who programmed them died, and he left a note saying that he was like sorry and regretful. So he died before he was ever able to stop what he programmed the machines to do. So it's like there isn't even a bad guy. It just happened because some dead guy made a mistake, essentially. Yeah. And like that's just like such a cool thing, because like, you know, it goes from we're after this guy to, oh my god, we can't kill the bad guy and stop this. We have to like do something else. And I think that that's really cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say about this movie. I think we talked about.
Yeah, I do want to mention my one thing that I talked to you about. My biggest complaint about the film, and I feel weird calling it a complaint because I know it's like kind of by design.
Yeah,
I don't.
But
Really,
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah,
About it
I
from an
don't-
objective standpoint.
I don't really remember the movie looking like that. And if you've seen the movie, which you should have by now, again, we waited for you. I don't love the visual aesthetic, and by that, like I love the noir look, but everything looks really soft, and there's no hard edges, and it makes everything look fake. Nothing looks real, and I don't. It's kind of distracting. I got used to it like halfway through the movie, but the fact that it took halfway through the movie for me to get used to it in the first place is kind of an issue. I don't know. It's weird. It was weird and a little off-putting. It doesn't detract from the overall experience of the film because it's a good film in general. It's just it's kind of a glaring, like, because it's hard to ignore. It's literally in your face. It's
Yeah. I honestly think one of the problems was that this movie was made during a time when 720p was HD.
Yeah, that might be part of it.
That might be a cop-out answer, but I mean, there's a lot of movies that looked good in the day, but just putting them on modern screens just does not help them.
Yeah, for sure. So there's
like,
a good chance that's part of it.
Like I remember back in the day watching this movie and it not like I've definitely noticed it get worse the better screen that I watch it on.
Really?
I just think that something about the post-processing that they do, it just didn't hold up on newer screens. But I honestly
gotta find a CRT.
I think that once you get used to it, it just like it for me, I don't really notice it after a certain point. But like for people who have never seen this before, it is going to look weird.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that criticism. I think it's really just because of how it was made. Holy shit. God, Dave, this shot.
Oh no.
It's so good.
Oh no.
It's so
it's good. Okay, this is a good thing.
Hold on.
Also, this is I want to just call attention to this really stupid note I made. I'm pretty sure it's from the scene where they're being chased by the ornithopters and he makes the plane into a submarine. All I put was more like sea captain. Am I right?
Yeah, I love that scene because he could have said anything to Polly about them going to be a submarine. He just
absolutely didn't. He just didn't.
Was fucking with her. He's like, yeah, we're gonna die.
Yep. So Brian, I
sent you the link to the shot that I was talking about. I couldn't copy paste the picture.
It's pretty sick. I have one more question for you though, Brian.
What's up?
Because you lied. You said you had nothing else to say about the film.
Oh,
but you haven't even said what your favorite scene in the whole entire movie is.
That's right. Have I ever told you what my favorite scene in the whole entire movie is?
I don't think you have. I mean, you may have.
No?
I don't know. It's been it might have been a while.
Honestly, this is hard. I have to think about it because every time I watch it, I feel like there's something new that I love about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. But I think my favorite scene in the whole entire movie, let me think. I don't know what it is. And I just think that like, because it's the first major scene in the movie and it just like really stuck with me as a kid, but him fighting those robots and just the robots landing and then taking off, just everything about them, like they're so cool. They just look really like sleek and like, but still boxy and old. And I just love that design and how they move and how they act. I just fucking love it. Just that whole opening action set piece with Polly running through all the robots, their feet crashing down. The first time we even see the robots on the ground, where you see a car get kicked and then you just see them kind of come around the corner, and they just look so intimidating, but they look so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love that whole scene. I love it. I love how, you like people start noticing them. There's that like the very stylized shot of all those people pointing up at them one by one, like the big spotlights, just the whole atmosphere of that scene. It's just so cool. This is why I love movies like this shit right here. I told you about this. People might not know this, but this movie almost more than Godzilla shaped me as a person, because this is like the movie I watched as a kid. Like, it's very weird that this is the movie that I landed on for being like my thing. But man, I would be lying if I told you I didn't fucking love everything about it. It's so good. Yeah. That first scene, the first action set piece, definitely my favorite scene. The whole thing. I don't care how long it is. We have no restrictions.
We don't. I'm glad. I'm glad we finally got to the part where you wax poetic about the movie, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, also, I like how you said, I forgot that Dumbledore was in this movie.
Yeah. And he's not even in there very long.
He was in there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I honestly expected him to have a bigger... Because, like, Michael Gambon's a big actor, so I assumed he was going to have a bigger part in the movie, and then he's just gone. I think he has another... Like, she calls him again, like, later on in the movie for, like, a 1 or 2 line exchange.
No, she sends him like a telegram. You don't even hear him
Oh my
talk.
God, yeah.
It's just to what's his face, and then she just says she just talks about the message.
Yeah, incredible.
Also, I just remembered my joke favorite scene is when they all wake up in the bed in Shangri-La and they're all naked.
That's pretty great too.
And that part's pretty funny. Yeah, this movie has a lot of really good humor. Actually,
it does. It's got a very good sense of humor. I never
really appreciated it as much as I should. But I mean, like, Jude Law is a funny guy.
I really wish Jude Law was in more, because he's a spectacular actor, and I feel like I don't know if he just doesn't have a great agent or something, because like he
just doesn't like to be in a lot of stuff.
Maybe because like the biggest thing, I was going through his filmography last night, and like, hold on, where is it? Credits. That's where it is. Like the last thing I recognized him being in, well, I guess he was in the Marvels, but that's a sequel to Captain Marvel, and he was in that movie, so I'm not really going to count that. He was in the last Fantastic Beasts movie as Dumbledore, ironically enough.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like I like he was in that. He was in the Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie.
Oh my God, really?
Oh, he was in the
my God, yeah, he was. I forgot about that movie entirely.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I feel like he could be in a lot more bigger projects.
He should be, because he's really, really good. Like, yeah. I think the thing, weirdly enough, the thing I know him most from, other than like this movie, is in the Sherlock Holmes films. Also the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies, because he's Watson in those movies, and he's really good in that.
I really like those movies, actually.
They're great. I think that's enough. Those are other movies like you and I would watch like religiously back in the day.
Dude, I might go watch those later.
It's been a while. Yeah.
People talk shit about the second one, but I still love it. I don't care.
Think I watched the second one past when you and I saw it in theaters. I think I've only watched this first one so many times.
It's pretty solid. Like, it's pretty good. I mean, I still like the first one the most.
Yeah.
It's still, it's pretty good. I wish they'd make a third movie.
I think they are making a third movie.
Oh, you know what? I just realized something.
What?
There is a movie I would directly compare Sky Captain to.
What's that?
The Rocketeer.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, obviously. Holy shit. You know what's... You want to know something disappointing, Brian?
What?
Never seen The Rocketeer.
Really?
Never seen it.
Dave, you should watch it.
I know. It's just one of those things that... It might be on Disney, honestly.
I think it is. It's a Disney production, so
yeah, no, it's just one of those movies I have always meant to see, but just never got around to it.
You want to know something funny?
What?
I watched The Rocketeer because it uses the same font in its for its title on the thing as Sky Captain does.
Wow. So you literally just saw like, oh, it's the same thing as Sky Captain, my favorite font in the whole entire movie.
I literally did the Wojak meme in real life. Yeah, I just sent it to you, see?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. There it is.
Yeah. No, you should definitely watch it. And that goes for anyone else listening to this fucking show. Watch The Rocketeer.
Timothy Dalton's in The Rocketeer? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn, Rocketeer's actually a stacked cast. Holy shit. Jennifer Connelly, Alan Arkin. Damn. I'm missing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should watch it.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, Dave.
All right.
I feel like we definitely need more diesel punk aesthetic movies.
I think so too.
It's a very cool look. I'm pretty tired of all of the very like sleek like future stuff that we've been seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wish we could have more of this, honestly.
I think it's kind of a greater symptom of Hollywood where they're just not really doing stylized movies anymore.
Is that really considered diesel punk?
What, The Rocketeer?
No, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Is that? I guess it's kind of considered diesel punk.
I would consider like Howl's Moving Castle diesel punk.
It's more. That's definitely more on the line of fantasy. I think Nausicaa is more.
It's bordering, but there's a lot of aspects of it that have shared DNA with diesel punk, like the castle specifically.
Yeah, we could actually, oddly enough, we could cover Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, on this show very easily.
I mean, we can cover realistically, Dave. We can cover any movie we want because it is our show.
That is true, but I meant, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we have a legitimately good like argument to be had to cover Nausicaa, because I knew this existed. I knew this short existed, but I didn't know it was connected to Nausicaa. So in 2012, Shinji Higuchi and Hideaki Anno, the directors of Shin Godzilla, got together and did a tokusatsu short film about what I didn't even know it was. Again, I didn't know it was related to Nausicaa, but I later found out it was about the god warriors from Nausicaa that like destroyed the world. It's a prequel. Mm-hmm. It is a tokusatsu prequel to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
That's fucking cool.
And it is officially sanctioned by like Ghibli produced it. Well, they funded it at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is officially canon. So we could, Nausicaa even has its own page on the Godzilla wiki.
Wow. That's cool.
So
okay,
we could 100% cover Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, which I would be down for, because that movie fucking slaps.
I mean, after this was our last really planned episode, so
whoa, Brian. I mean, by the time we come back, Monarch will be finished.
Oh, right.
We got to cover that.
Yeah, we got to cover the big chungus himself.
Goddamn right we do. But
yeah.
All right, we're kind of like digressing here a lot. Do we want to move on to our next?
We are. Hey, a typical Talking Toku.
Oh, I know. Wouldn't be Talking Toku if we didn't.
Well, Dave, what out of 5 would you give Sky Captain?
I gave it on my Letterboxd 3.5.
Okay. That's perfectly reasonable. I gave it a 5 because I love it.
I figured you would give it a 5. I'm not surprised that that's what you gave it.
Yeah. It's just what, like, everybody has that one thing that they grew up with, and that they just they know that it's not perfect, but just don't care. Just don't. Yeah. 3. Yeah. If I was you, I would probably give it a 3.5. Yeah.
Okay.
You should send me your Letterboxd review though, because I want to read it. I looked to see if you posted it on Instagram, and you didn't.
Oh no, I only do that every so often. I didn't write a whole like review for it this time around. I only do that sometimes. I mean, hell, I didn't even write a whole review for any of the 4 times I logged -1.
Oh, that's fair. Well, I guess you did give your review here. So.
Yeah, so it's not that big a deal. I'm just curious, what did I put for -1 any of the 4 times? All right, so for the first one, I said, God, I mean, I wasn't expecting to give this 5 stars, and who knows what a second viewing will bring, but whoo boy. Second time around, I said, loses some of its magic the second time around, but still excellent. Time will tell if it ends up being as rewatchable as something is like the original film or GMK. Third time, I said, maybe just once more. And then the last time I said, actually the last time I see this in theaters. So I never actually reviewed it on my Letterboxd.
That's funny. You should write a whole big review about it.
But then I gotta see it a 5th time, Brian.
Oh, that's fair. Well, who cares?
Would it really
Give Toho your money?
Yeah, would it really be a bad thing for me to see -1 again? Probably not.
I mean, maybe for your wallet, but...
Anyways, what else? Are you checking out anything, Brian? Because I got a bunch I can talk about.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Gigabash.
Have you?
A lot of Gigabash. And I just want to go out and say that the Ultraman characters are fucking overpowered.
You've mentioned that to me a couple times, yeah.
Alien Bolton is borderline bullshit. But I love him. Sam and I are number 1 fan. Sam, we've been playing it a lot. We've been playing like the Horde mode, and our favorite character is Wooly, which is absolutely based.
That's very good pick.
Very good pick. But yeah, so we've been playing a lot of that, and been keeping up with Monarch. Sam and I both really enjoy Monarch. It honestly, watching it's kind of bittersweet because it's so good, but I just don't like much of the MonsterVerse stuff. It kind of bumps me out a little bit.
I feel that.
It's just so good, but like
it's too
good
for the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, I like Godzilla 2014 more than most people, and I fucking love Kong Skull Island, but with the rest of the MonsterVerse stuff, I just like it's not like Monarch. It does not fit tonally.
Yeah.
And like I just don't like it. It makes me want to binge half of the movies that have come out, but not the other half.
I can say binge like there's more than only 4 of them.
I'd say with movies, 2 movies is a binge if you watch 2 right after.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially Godzilla 2014. That movie's like 2+ hours. So. So I've been really enjoying that. It's good. Let me think. Well, the last episode that just came out was really good.
It was really good. Yeah,
it was really good. I honestly I thought that the episode before last episode was my favorite, but the last one topped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time the big boy shows up, I'm always happy.
I'm really excited to record an episode on it because I think we're gonna have a lot to talk about with it.
I think so too.
Like more so than we thought we would, I think.
I just I'm so surprised how and it honestly really makes me happy that we're getting this level of character development and just character work from the MonsterVerse. Like It's very nice to see.
I know.
But it really does just bum me out that we just don't have that in the movies.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to talk about it when it's all wrapped up. It's almost over. Only 2 more episodes.
This was what, 6?
Yeah.
We have 4 episodes. There's 10 episodes.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, I think I saw it was gonna end January 12th.
Oh damn, it's like the day I move.
Oh wow, cool.
Wow, we move everything into the new apartment. We can just sit down and watch Monarch.
Perfect.
Perfect. So we've been checking that out. Very, very excited to see where it goes. And other than that, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I've been very busy. Well, if I think of anything else, I'll let you know. But yeah.
Right. Well, I'll talk about what I've been checking out because I have a couple things. I already mentioned that I reread Jurassic Park. I don't know if I mentioned that when we were talking about -1.
Yeah, I think you did.
Did I?
Wait,
Okay.
no. Wait, no, I don't. I think you were in the process of rereading it, or like you were just gonna start, or you were planning on it. I don't remember. I think
I don't
no,
know.
maybe you did start it.
I don't remember.
I think you did start
I
it.
go through
Actually.
books so quickly that I just kind of lose track, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last update. I'm looking at my Goodreads. Last updated December 5th. When did did we record? When did we record the -1 episode?
Well, -1, we saw it on November 26th or something.
All right, so I was
And then
about to. I was about to finish Jurassic Park when we recorded. Okay, never mind. All right, ignore everything I just said up until this point.
just cut it
all
out.
of that.
Cut all of that.
But I have updates on my read through of the Meg series.
Oh boy, I'm very excited.
I hate to disappoint you, Brian, and I'm kind of I hate to disappoint myself too, because this was a little bit of a surprise. But Hell's Aquarium, which is the goofiest fucking name for a book I've ever heard, and this is book 4, mind you. I'm kind of digging it, honestly. Like, I'm almost done with it. I'll probably finish it tonight, but like it's just kind of a fun time. I'm just having like there's nothing problematic about it, thank God. Not like there was with Primal Waters, and to a lesser extent the Lock.
Howdy, was there a lot of stuff wrong with that one?
Yeah, but no, Hell's Aquarium is just kind of like it's. I'd almost like equate it to what the movies are, specifically Meg 2, The Trench. Like, it's just kind of it's just cartoony and over the top just for the hell of it. And I'm kind of into it in that sense. Like, when it's the name Hell's Aquarium refers to the Crown Prince of Dubai is opening a ridiculously expensive aquarium, and he specifically wants like prehistoric creatures like the megalodon and other creatures that we've seen in the books, like fucking Leopleurodon and Dunkleosteus, to be in his ridiculous expensive aquarium. So he's sending he's sending David, which is Jonas's son, down to get stuff from him. And like he gets,
oh my God, it's you!
It's me. I'm down, not in the Mariana Trench. He's in like the Philippine Sea. He's like under the Philippine Sea. I don't know. There's a lot.
You're in Hell's Aquarium.
I'm in Hell's Aquarium right now. I'm recording from what was it? 24,000 miles down, or 24,000 feet down. Sorry, not miles.
Miles would be into space.
Yeah. It'd be like in the Earth's core or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm currently recording 24,000 miles below sea level. 24,000 feet. Jesus Christ, I did it again. Anyways, but yeah, no, I'm enjoying Hell's Aquarium a lot more than I thought I would. And maybe that's because I was just prepared for the worst when I started reading it. But no, I don't know. It's fun. It's not without its issues. Like, I'm still very much of the opinion that Steve Alton is kind of running out of ways to describe a giant shark attack, because this is book 4. No wonder you're going to start running out. Like, I don't know. But
yeah, there's not really a whole lot of ways you can keep writing someone get eaten by a giant shark.
Yeah. So, but no, it's just at this point it's a fun like monster novel. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am a little disappointed that I don't get to hear you go on fucking like rants about how terrible it is.
Well, it's okay, Brian, because I still have 2 full books in the Meg series to read.
Got a 50-50 chance that one of them or both of them will be bad.
Yeah. Actually, I did want to I discovered this the other day. So Currently, there are 6 books in the series, but there is a 7th in development. And it's been in development hell for a long time. And I saw this review of this guy who was very angry.
Oh.
It's kind of a long one, but I just wanted to read a little bit of it because the review for this book, that again is not out yet, is really funny to me. I'm going to read the whole thing, but I might edit it out, some of it, when I do go for this. So, and the guy updated the book as well, the review as well. So, when did he? Do I have a date? No, it's okay. So I think he posted the. I don't know when he posted the review initially, but he updated it a couple times. So, how can there be ratings for this book? Come to that. How can 3 people be reading a book that not only hasn't been published yet, but it's not even been written yet? So this review isn't a review. It's a message concerning the current state of play with this book. A little background first concerning my detailings with the author. I love the Meg series. It's great fun. But Steve Alton isn't a particularly nice guy when you talk to him. When Book 6 was released, he made it hardcover only via his website. He encouraged his fans to buy multiple copies in order to sell on eBay. This meant if you lived outside of the US, the costs of the book were prohibitively expensive. Unfortunately, his stated eBay policy to those fans who bought multiple copies was sell them high, meaning his fans who couldn't get the book directly were being ripped off on eBay with his permission. After several lengthy emails with Alton, I vowed that books 6 and 7 would be the last books of his I would buy, even if the series didn't finish. His attitude was appalling. Incredibly self-centered and arrogant. His whining about not being respected in the book publishing world continues to this day. He was, and I quote, a big-name author who deserved a big publishing deal. His solution was to prevent the publication of Book 6 commercially for quite some time until he relented and for eventually published it and allowing fans the chance to actually read the book. Book 7 is also being published by Tor, but also Alton is at it again. Book 7 will be a bare-bones version from Tor, but if you pay a lot more, you get one with illustrations that he is again encouraging fans to buy extra copies of for extortionate eBay sales. He is also doing 7 leather-bound editions of each book. These are gifts to his fans with lots of extras and a price to match. I love the Meg series, but I have little time for Alton himself. So to the new book. As of this date, Meg Purgatory has not been started by Alton. He has yet to finish the 3-odd-year delayed 3rd Locke book. His latest and this is in June rather. His latest information is that Meg will be started early next year, 2024, and unlikely to appear in print before 2025. Book 7 will be the final Alton book I buy. If he once again changes his mind and writes another book, books 5 and 6 were meant to be the last, then I will not buy it. Many will see this as a negative post. It is. It's also so frustrating as I championed Alton in the late 90s, getting people to read the books. Even when he rewrote the first book twice, I bought them, and into the 2000s I recommended him to everyone. I no longer feel I can recommend him. My feelings toward his work has unfortunately been colored by the author's contempt for his fans. I want to read Book 7. I want to read the full series again when it's complete. I just can't support his attitude, his low opinion of fans, and his inflated opinion of his own abilities, an opinion not shared by many in the publishing world. That was the initial review. And then he updated the review on July 1st. I'm furious. He's done it again. Book 7 will now not be published by Tor. It will only be available via his website for a high price. Again, he is encouraging multiple purchases for resale. He estimates it will take about approximately 20 months to write. Considering that he hasn't started yet, that means having a pre-order on for at least 2 years, probably a lot longer when you take how long the Locke 3 is behind. I have to say it. No commercial release means I'm done with Alton. I'm not being ripped off with extortionate prices for a book that should be standard hardback novel price. Add in the overseas postage and it's just not affordable in this time of financial trouble. Alton is so out of touch. Instead of using the movies to get a wider audience by reprinting the series and releasing the new book in stores, he's asking loyal fans to purchase the set as a legacy special for over $500. That doesn't include postage. Hopefully, Book 7 will get a commercial release at some point. I think it took 18 months for 2 years for Book 6 to hit stores. As I say, though, no commercial release, no more Alton. His arrogance, his contempt for fans, I can't accept it anymore. Stop being greedy and release your books in a format fans around the world can actually enjoy, not just your USA fans. As you can probably tell, I'm a bit upset. And that's the end of the review.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude is not happy.
Steve Alton, get fucked,
honestly.
Bro. Jesus, I have never heard such a hard, just like takedown before.
Right? Incredible.
Wow. That was
it's something.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Man, it really in an instant changed my entire perception of Steve Alton from I have no opinion to this guy sucks.
I mean, from everything I told you about Meg Primal Waters, do you really think you had no opinion on him?
Oh, that's true. I guess that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit rapey.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Anyways, on a lighter note, or I guess not really a lighter note, considering the context I watched it in. Right before coming here, I rewatched Return of Godzilla because I wanted to watch something Heisei for Ken Satsuma. And fuck me, dude, Return of Godzilla is so goddamn good. Like,
I have honestly been meaning to watch it again for the longest time. I haven't seen it in fucking who knows how long, so I should really get on that.
Insanely good. It's one of the movies that I think I can watch over and over again and catch something new every single time.
Yeah. The only thing that I like distinctly remember that cracks me up every time is when Godzilla's eyes are like looking in two different directions.
Oh yeah, because the suit,
I love that.
The suit was designed so you can look at it from different angles, but like the front on isn't that great. That's why they use the big animatronic, or the Cybot as they refer to it as in production.
I saw footage of that thing. That thing is insane.
It's ridiculous. It's so big.
So cool. It's fucking huge. Man, I'm gonna go watch that movie, but man, I honestly wish that they did more stuff like that.
I know. Yeah.
Makes me sad that they never used that big animatronic for Shin Godzilla.
I know, right? That thing would have.
You showed me footage of that too, and I was like, why didn't they use that?
Because they made him walk.
They made him walk like the thing moved anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, that Shin Godzilla reminded me. There's one other thing. I'll just talk about that in just a second. I just want to say a little more about Return of Godzilla, but yeah, like so Ken Satsuma hasn't really like put his mark on the character just yet in Return of Godzilla. I feel like he really started personifying the character probably in King Ghidorah, maybe, because I think that's kind of where the suits started becoming a little more expressive. But
I'd say so, definitely.
No, like Return of Godzilla, man, it's so fucking good. Like I don't know. It's just. When I was writing my review for it, I just like everything I wanted to say about it just kept trailing off. But and the same thing is happening here. But yeah, Return of Godzilla, it's great.
Hey, you know what? This whole show is about trailing off.
That's true. Very, very true. All right, I got one more thing.
We should honestly rebrand to trailing off.
We could, but then people won't know we're talking about Godzilla.
That's true.
So it doesn't really work. All right.
Not really.
I got one more thing to talk about, and then we'll get the fuck out of here because we're at an hour and 45. Jesus Christ. Well, I think we talked about this on the show a couple months ago. I don't know if you actually went ahead and started doing it, but I started doing it because I had nothing else to watch, and I'm starting to like actually start watching TV more. It finally happened, guys. I'm finally watching Attack on Titan again.
Oh, I have not started.
I am about halfway through the first season. I'm not going to like go through the whole series. I'm just going to take it season by season. But I'm about halfway through. I'm still firmly in where I had already seen back when the show was first airing. Because I watched the first half of season 1 way back in 2013, which, God, it's weird that this show is 10 years old now. But yeah, I'm really digging it. I'm digging it a lot more this time around than I did before. I think, I have mature tastes now, but yeah, no,
sure.
it's yeah, sure. Shut the fuck up, Brian. No, I'm really enjoying it. I like a lot of the mystery surrounding the origins of the Titans, because like that was like the one thing that kept me wanting to go back to it, because like I didn't get far enough into the show initially to like know what the fuck was going on with the Titans, and I'm like, I was always all these years I'm like, God, I still wonder what was going on there. So now I'm finally gonna find out after 10 years. It's finally gonna happen. Whenever I finish it and whenever you get around to starting it, I'd love to do an episode. Sam
and I are gonna get a Crunchyroll subscription, so I think we're gonna start it.
It's also on Hulu. I don't know if you have Hulu.
No, Hulu's too expensive.
Okay, that's fair. More so, I would also very much like to watch the 2-part films that Shinji Higuchi directed. And the reason Shin Godzilla reminded me of this is because they used the same exact big like animatronic puppet thing for the Colossal Titan I think just all the Titans in general were all brought to life through like an animatronic puppet kind of thing, like they were gonna do for Shin Godzilla, and it looks spectacular. Like if you look up some footage of it, you'll see, but like it's really well done. And they did the same thing with that Nausicaa short film that I mentioned earlier in the show, I believe. I think that was all puppetry as well. But yeah, no, Attack on Titan, I'm finally going through it. You know, the hype has died down. No one really cares anymore. So I don't have people screaming at me. You're like, whoa, Attack on Titan's so fucking good. You gotta watch it. Anime. Oh, it's great. So
you know who never shuts up about it?
Who?
Kaylin.
Oh, fuck Kaylin.
Joy the party the other day is like, Brian, did you watch Attack on Titan yet? I'm like, no. I'm like, do you know how many hours it's gonna take to watch all of that shit? You kidding?
That's why I'm only doing like an episode a day. I'm pacing myself.
You expect me to watch it all 1 week after you told me to watch it the last time? Come on, man.
Pacing myself, man. That's what I'm doing. That's how that's how I tackle shows nowadays.
When it comes to anime, I have to pace myself.
Yeah. All right, but that's it. That's all I had to talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it for the show, I think.
I think so too.
We did
Have fun editing, Dave.
Oh, fuck. And I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do tomorrow when I'm down here editing, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, cool. Thanks for sticking around for another year, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Year 3, that's nuts.
I know. What will year 4 bring? Who knows? I mean, a Monarch review, obviously.
Godzilla X Kong.
Godzilla X Kong review. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla review, because next year's the 50th anniversary, so we're definitely 100% covering that.
Absolutely.
Other than that, I don't know.
We had a few more ideas that we were floating around, but we can talk about those later.
I'm gonna just bring up something random, and I'm gonna speak it into being. We're gonna cover. You know what? We could do Final Wars. Final Wars turns 20 next year. Let's do that.
Oh my god, that's perfect timing, because I said to Sam this weekend during my the break that I get from work for Christmas, we're gonna watch Final Wars, because every time I've put it on, she's been too drunk to remember what happens. We've both been too drunk, but she doesn't remember things when she's So
that's really funny, actually.
So we're gonna get high, but not
stupidly high.
Memory purge high, and we're gonna watch Final Wars.
It's gonna be great. Funny.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
Why the fuck is AARP writing about Godzilla -1?
Because everybody and their mother is writing about it. I don't know if you've seen.
It's AARP.
Every time I go on YouTube, I get at least 5 Godzilla -1 reviews on my homepage.
Very nice.
Yeah. Like, let me just. We gotta end this, but let me just look.
What the hell?
Yep, there's one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. God. Okay. You good?
Yeah, sorry. I saw something very stupid and I had to respond to it. My friend posted a not the link, thank God. He just posted a screenshot for a change.org petition that says release alternate ending of Godzilla -1 on Blu-ray, and I had to comment saying, what alternate ending?
That doesn't make any sense.
It has a total of 19 signatures.
Man, I take it back. I hate Godzilla fans. Just end it right there. That's the end of the episode.
Oh, that'd be good. All right. Well, actually,
you can rearrange it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Do the outro. Just
we'll
rearrange
do the outro.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll do that. All right. That's gonna be it for us, though. Once again, appreciate y'all for sticking around for another year. We'll be back. Let me make sure I got that date right. Assuming Monarch does indeed wrap on the 12th, we will be back on the 19th to review that show, and then after that, I don't know. Probably a Blazer review would be the next thing. Honestly, right?
Yeah, Blazer review is probably the next step after that.
Yeah, if assume, I don't know when Blazer's scheduled to end, but around that time, because I know the movie comes out in like mid to late February, so I assume the show will be finished before the movie comes out. So look forward to those 2 episodes for Talking Toku. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, feel free to check us out on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Talking Toku. Oh, and YouTube as well, at Talking Toku. Check out our Discord server. Come hang out with us. Check out Kaiju United's Facebook group and their Discord server and their website, of course. Like I said, they have a really, really nice write-up for Ken Satsuma's passing. Just a bunch of like people in the community giving their piece on their memories of him. It's really, really, really sweet. Oh, speaking of Monarch, I don't know if I meant this. No, this came out after we recorded. Friend of the show, Jacob, Mr. Kaiju United himself, he got to sit down with some of the cast of Monarch to talk to them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He sat down with Joe Tippett and Eliza Lasowski, who play Tim and Duval on the show. So yeah, he got to chat with them for a little bit. It was like a 5-minute interview. It was like a whole big press thing. So like it was a bunch of people in one Zoom call or something, and then like everyone got muted and except for the person interviewing or something along those lines. So it was a very like professional thing. It wasn't like a one-on-one kind of deal. But yeah, it's still a really fun interview, and the fact that he got to do that in the first place is like really, really cool. So good for him.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. And this is also another one. He did an indie spotlight on Rumble on Monster Island, which is something he sent me a couple days ago that I meant to send to you, Brian, but I forgot to do that, so I'm sorry. But it's this short film on YouTube. From Blue Worm, and it is fully stop motion, but the animation is so goddamn smooth that it took me a second to realize it was stop motion. That's how smooth the animation was.
Very nice.
But it's really, really cool. It's very like Harryhausen inspired, and it's great that he did a whole write-up on that for the website, because I think they like the video itself only has 5,000 views, and I think it needs a lot more than that. It certainly deserves it.
Send that shit over to me, dude.
I will, Brian. I'm gonna do it right now just to shut you up.
Thank you. I will watch it later.
Okay, I'll put it in the trench. Boom. Okay. All right, that's gonna be it, guys. We'll see you next year.